Your job out of college does not matter. It does not matter if it's related to your degree. As long as you're looking for a job that has at least one thing you're curious about. Even if my degree was marketing, I kind of want to learn about coding. I try for a job. I learned about coding. Watch what door it opens up next. It's not about the door that you're going into. It's about the door that's going to come after the thing that you're learning.
Exactly.
Let me take one more sip of this. You'd like this, actually. Take a sip of this. It's coffee. It's good.
I don't even know if I feel like coffee right now.
What?
I did have coffee this morning. That is so sweet, but also
so
like
icky.
Too much like, I don't like warm almond milk, and I can taste warm almond milk. Am I right?
Milk, yeah.
I knew it.
How did you know that?
Because when you heat up oat milk, I think it tastes good. When you heat up almond milk, it tastes like burnt and like bitter, and I don't like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So whenever I get a hot latte, I always say, can I have oat milk?
Or
I do like normal milk. Or if I do ice, then I can do almond milk because I like iced almond.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry that you don't like my latte.
But I'm also like really shaky from the caffeine, or I'm shaky from this like bit of hangover I got going on right now.
Bit of honey, bit of hangover.
Bit of hangover. No, yeah. We went to Maynard's yesterday and I can't believe I'm alive. If you guys know what bootleggers are,
they're so good.
They're literally, I wait all year for them because they're so fucking good. I've probably talked about them 6 times.
They're so good though. They're mint and lime and sugar and like I do tequila.
I did the regular.
Did you do what gin? What is it, gin?
Gin.
Yeah, gin's good though.
You guys, I had 5 bootleggers and 2 of them were doubles. And I like literally.
My God. They're not little cups, by the way. They're big cups.
And I was like, what's crazy is like I was fine.
Really? How? I don't understand.
I called a Lyft because all of a sudden I Irish goodbye, right? All of a sudden it hit me. I'm like, I'm going home. And my Uber driver and I, oh my God, I forgot about this till right now. He was so nice and he definitely lived around Excelsior. He had like a fucking sick car.
Well, and he probably does it for fun.
Yeah. And I was like, do this. Yeah. And so we started having a conversation. He was wondering why I was going home so early. And I was like, well, I have a podcast in the morning. And he was like, I've always thought about starting a podcast as an Uber driver because the amount of cool conversations I have with people. And I'm going to be honest, I was like totally bragging about the podcast.
Wait, I
love
this.
I was like, yeah, we just got back from LA. He was like, do you guys go out there often? And I was like, yeah, we go out like every like 5. I was totally
I love when you would like state something that's like coming, but you're like, no, we go out there like every 5 months.
That's what I told him. He was like, that's awesome. So like, are you from around here? I'm like, yeah, but like we go out there often. Like I was just totally talking it up because I felt really cool.
Literally just like, yeah, no, totally. We're sick.
I was also drunk, so I was just kind of not lying through my teeth a little, but I was definitely exaggerating.
Who cares? He's fine.
But yeah, it was totally fine. Then I started prepping for the podcast when I got home. A little drunky, but we found some good stuff.
You did a good job. You prepped very well, especially for being drunk. I'm like, okay, sister. Okay, do your thing.
And Syd was supposed to come around 3 p.m.
Yes,
it was
3.
It was 7 p.m. and that's when I Irish goodbye. So
I was supposed to be there at 3. We had a little mishap with the timing. I mean, Jordan had a busy morning. That's fine. Ended up getting on the boat around like 2:45 when I was supposed to be there at 3. And then I was like, I either get off now or what do I do here? And then it was just a whole thing. Jordan wanted to surf. We couldn't surf. No one could drive the boat. La la la. Whatever.
That's what we were chatting about.
It gets so frustrating. It's like, oh God, I don't know. I can't work it.
We were chatting about earlier too is we love boats and you love getting invited on boats. But it's
so fun. But
it's also like hard because if you're invited on a boat, you can't leave. Like I cannot Irish goodbye on a goddamn boat.
No, you're not getting off until everybody gets off. Yeah,
and I get scared. I'm like, I'm going to be stranded. What if I have to poop? What if I have to change my tampon? What if what if I need to eat? What if I just am over these people and I want to go home and take a nap? Like I cannot leave. What if I'm drunk and sleepy and you're out in the sun? I get nervous and I feel like I'm not the only one. I'm just like,
and you're like, you're stuck in the boat. I know, but it's so fun. But it's like you are stuck. It feels like you're stuck.
Unless you're with like I could be like, okay, I'd be like,
let's go. I'd be like, okay, we're getting off.
Syd, you need to drop me off or I'm swimming home.
I got you. I know Taylor said that the other day.
She was like, please.
Wait, what was my stray kid? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait.
Stray kid moment. Just Syd, do you have a stray kid moment this
week? Forgot to tell you this. And
okay.
I want to know if you think this is weird. Like, truly, do you think this is weird? Okay. I went to a gym in New York City when I was there. And we walked in. We did a little workout. We did a little workout class. I will say, I'm not going to say the name of the gym. Did not like the workout class. No shade to them, but it was just bad. So we were like, okay, let's just go in the locker room. We're gonna get showered off. We're gonna do all the things. We're gonna steam. We're gonna do the things. Okay. We go in the steam room, and you know how like when you open the steam room door, all the steam comes out, and then you can kind of see everything, right?
Yeah.
I made eye contact with a labia. I made straight up this woman, and tell me if this is normal. If you've seen this at a gym.
Are you talking about just recently in your kitchen when I showed you my labia?
Yeah, well, I saw that too, and then I like hiccuped because I got like choked on my own like spit. So
she wanted to see my underwear.
No, I didn't. She goes, "Let me show you." I go, "Okay." So let's make sure that's straightened out. But we walk into the steam room. This woman is laying flat with her legs spread eagle, like in a butterfly, on a towel, no clothes on, just laying in the steam room, like right in the center.
Honestly, good for her. Work.
I have to like, what? I'm looking, what? I'm like, oh, I'm looking right at your, oh, okay. And then I'm sitting down and you're still like, your legs are spread out. Like, it was just so weird. Like, is that normal? Like,
isn't that crazy that some people are just so, like, what would it be like to be that comfortable?
I mean, that would be amazing.
In your body and your vagina, which is kind of like, I'm assuming it was a women's only.
It was, yeah, it was women's only.
You know what? Every single lady has labias here. Like, I'm just gonna, but yeah, like a little courtesy maybe.
In my defense, like, why are your legs spread eagle in the steam room? Like, I don't know. I'm like, I guess where else are you going to spread eagle then? But maybe, oh my God. Wait. There's steam treatments for your vagina.
Maybe she was trying to like
Kegels or Kegels or whatever.
That Chrissy Teigen like vagina steamer.
Yeah, they're called Kegels. You do like Kegel breathing or whatever with your, right?
You can Kegel breathing.
Kegel?
Well, like you can do Kegels when you're sitting here. Like like right now I'm doing Kegels.
I know, but maybe she had,
sucking in and out. Were they moving?
I don't.
You know, like sucking.
I did not look that long. I was too scared. I was like, I can't, no, don't. I couldn't look that long. It was too much. I was just like, if it's normal, I'm sorry. Hey, shame to me. If it's not normal, curious. I'm just curious.
I think you should try it out and report back, and you let us know how it made you feel. Maybe you felt really free.
I want to know one other cringe moment.
Yeah.
This was more recently. I have people's heart rates up on the screen when I work out. So I can see their names, right? Mm-hmm. But in the gym that I work at, we don't have spot names. So I can't see anybody's names when they come in, and it's annoying. Mm-hmm. Like at least you know, like Tread 22 is Syd. Like,
because I forget people's name it's
impossible.
The fucking time. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I don't know who any of these people are, but this girl's been coming so long. And I heard someone call her Katie. And I was like, oh, it's Katie. Like I have been calling her Katie. She's been coming for like probably about a year. 6 months I've been easily calling her Katie. And then she comes with a heart rate monitor. And she's like, has anybody want to like their heart rate monitor on the screen? She raises her hand. I go, great. She goes, yep, I'm up there already. Points. It says Julia.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
She says, it says Julia. Her name is Julia. I have been calling her Katie confidently for over 6 months.
Yep.
To her face every single week, 2 days a week.
So this is what I do. I'm like, wait, your name's Julia? I've been calling you Katie, or did you just pretend like it didn't happen?
I pretended it didn't happen. I would correct myself, but I was actually so caught off guard because it's like if you told me your name was Sarah, I'd be like, okay. I'm like, no, I'm sure of it. You've said your name is Sophie. I'm positive. Like, that's not possible.
And
not possible.
At that point, like as a client, you're just like, I don't want to like let the coach, I don't want to let the coach know that she's wrong. And I feel like people kind of look up to the coach. So they just like let it happen and let it slide.
Oh God.
This thing happens to me. I'm not kidding you, Syd, like every fucking day.
I hate it.
So the other week there was, what was the name? It was like, it wasn't Harold. It was, Harley.
Cute name.
So there was this girl running on the tread, and I'm like, get a Harley. She was the only one on the tread when they switched rooms. So obviously I'm talking to her. Right?
You need to hype her up.
And then I look at the spot again, and it was next to her that was Harley, and they were a no-show. And I'm like, oh my God. I go, Katie. I don't remember her fucking name. Katie, as usual. Katie. I didn't realize your name wasn't or what did I say?
Harley.
Harley, I'm so sorry. She's like, yeah, that's my husband. He couldn't make it. And I'm like, oh my God, I thought your name was Harley, but it was so cute. Like then I was like, I'm going to name my daughter Harley.
I know. I love that name.
How cute is that?
I used to have a dog named Harley.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, actually, it would be really cute if I had like a little girl.
I love guy names for girls.
I do too.
But I was honestly like in love with your name. So I'm going to call you Harley.
Do you have baby names that you have in mind right now that you're like, oh my God, I would name my kid this?
No, I just know I want a boy name for a girl.
Oh, I do too.
And I don't know if I really want kids yet, but
well, you don't need to want kids, but I had names. I think I want to name one of my kids like Lonzo.
Don't say it out loud on this mic because someone's going to take it.
I don't care if you take it. I'm going to my kid will be named that and he'll be a star and he'll wear a little crown. So I don't give a fuck.
He will fucking kill it.
He will kill it. Okay.
Yeah, the name thing. If you guys have ideas or recommendations on how to remember names, like please send them my way. Know. I'm so bad at it. It's really embarrassing.
I cringe all the time. People, and they've come for too long. Now I can't ask them their name. It's too awkward. So I can't.
What sucks is like, I wish I could like look at the roster the night before so I can like study the names, but I get the roster like as I'm in class and then I'm like trying to memorize names while I'm like trying to coach to the second. So it's fucking hard. But
that's how Alter was too. Yep. I know.
Okay. Straight kind of moment.
I thought you did yours.
No.
Oh, you got a better one.
Girl, I have a lot, but I'll pick a few. So this one's just funny and short, but this morning I took my parents' dog for a walk and I was out in the suburbs. I was like living my best suburban mom life, walking around the neighborhood, talking to the neighbors, looking at the lawn furniture, picking up some doggy poo-poo. But there was this like mom also walking behind me with her dogs and I see the biggest turtle in a yard, okay? Like it was like a big turtle.
They're snapping turtles.
Tortoise. And I was like, that is amazing. The shell was so intricate. Like it almost looked like it was designed by like, I don't know.
Was it dinosaur-y?
Yeah, some like Aztec tribe. I was like, wow, that is beautiful. So I go up there and I'm like about to take a picture and like talk to the mom behind me about this big tortoise. Turtle. But a mixture between a turtle and a tortoise. Have you guys heard of that? It's called the tortoise. And I go up to it and I'm about to take a picture and I'm about to like be like, oh my God, look at this big turtle. Oh my God. And then I realize it's a statue. And she like saw me like whipping out my phone.
My God.
But it was like in the weirdest spot in someone's yard. And I was still.
Sophie.
It wasn't moving. And I'm like, oh, that's literally a fake shell. I'm like, oh, that's a statue.
Did you look back at the lady behind you and go, oh, funny?
Like I played it off and then I started power walking and like getting out of her sight.
You weirdo.
And I should have taken a picture of it because I was so close because I thought I was going to send it to.
At your defense, sometimes you have bad eyes because if you're like, you don't have your like one contact in, you're like, I can't see that over there. What does that say? I'm like, there's no words. I don't know what you're looking at.
If I didn't have a contact in, I would have thought it was a dinosaur. Like, no, I could see. I just was a little hungover and didn't know what was going on. And then my second straight candid moment was also this morning.
Oh my God, you had some good ones.
Well, today. I just kind of like thought about it a little bit and I'm like, this is funny to share. But so this isn't really funny. This is more like, wow, kind of eye-opening experience. So throwback to like disordered eating phases. Love that. We've talked about it plenty on the podcast. I'm so used, like something that I've like carried into my life now that's still probably like a little toxic is I always buy like the 0% Greek yogurt or, even like a 2% Greek yogurt, whatever. And then I'll like sweeten it up with like stevia and like almond extract and all that shit. But my parents, I was like, I want a yogurt bowl. And my dad buys 5% Fage yogurt. So it is like so
that stuff is thick.
It's
and good.
I put it in the bowl and I'm like, this sounds pretty good. So I like sweeten it up a little, add my parents' granola and stuff, blueberries, and I'm eating it and I'm like, holy fucking shit, this is amazing. What have I been missing out on? It was so satisfying and creamy. And I'm like, and it was filling and it was like healthy fats. I'm like, why am I eating 0% Greek yogurt? And what's funny is I also switched my lattes in the morning recently. I used to do like oat milk and I realized I'm like, I eat yogurt, I eat dairy. Like, why am I not just using whole milk? I switched to whole milk like 2 months ago and my life has also changed.
Oh my God, I should try that.
And it's literally
that would be pretty good.
It's literally so good. Like now when I go to a coffee shop, I order a latte and they're like, what milk alternative? I'm like, the way it comes. And they're like,
I want it the way it came in, baby.
They're just like shocked that like this like girls getting whole milk because it's like so weird now. These girls eating fucking cheese on pizza and they're like, can I have oat milk? I'm like, bitch, try whole milk.
Hey, watch the shade for the oat milk girls because listen up, huh? Here's the thing, honey. I can't drink 2%. Like I can't drink 1%. I can't drink 3 if that was a thing. I literally I have either one side of the extreme or the other because the middle ones have the most lactose.
Oh, really?
Yes. So like skim, 1%, 2%, they all have the most lactose in them. And I will literally
shit your brains.
Poo to the 2.
I will say though, I buy the Fairlife whole milk. And 1, it has higher protein.
That's lactose free.
And 2, I'm pretty sure it's good for your tummy. And my freaking lattes at home are to die for.
And she threw shade at my latte today. I said, okay, that was rude. Anyway.
That's because I was hot almond milk.
Here's a few confessions for you that we do every single time, right? Straight candid moments, but we kind of like confessions, like candid confessions. And that's what today's about.
Yeah. So we will always share our straight candid moments as usual at the beginning of an episode, something from the prior week. But at the end of the episodes, instead of sharing straight candid moments from listeners, we're going to do what's called, like Syd said, candid confessions. And today the topic is really like college in general. And we have some funny college confessions that you guys wrote in. We have some questions you wrote in about post-college or post-graduation. So we'll kind of get into all of that. But first, I have a question for you, Syd.
Okay.
So like, just because I know a lot of our listeners maybe just graduated, are in college, post-graduation, do you remember what it was like for you, like the emotions that come up when you graduated college and like going into the real world? The first like 6 months, like how did you feel? What happened? What was your major? What'd you do right out of college?
I majored in journalism and digital media studies. So strategic communication, basically. So marketing stuff. If you don't know all those like crazy words, it's just basically marketing. I went and did a ad agency internship right out of college.
So your job was related to your major right out of college?
It was out of college, yeah.
Okay. Just like most
and
people, yeah.
I was making like $2 an hour. I ended up not getting hired because they lost a client. So like they fired half their team and then they were like, sorry, interns, we have to let you go. Like we can't keep you guys because we can't afford everybody. And I had to move home. So right after August, after graduating, like a few months after my internship ended, I had to move back to my house. And basically everything that I knew to be true was gone. So it was like all my friends were moving away. I was living in my mom's basement, literally, truly, actually was. I didn't have an income. I thought I was going to have to nanny another summer. I thought that set me behind. I felt like my routines were gone. I didn't have any real purpose. I wasn't playing lacrosse anymore. It was weird. It was hard. I'm trying to see my notes. I'm like, it was just, I don't know. It was just weird. I feel like I lost my identity.
Your whole life changed.
My whole identity. I don't know. I don't know if I like am answering the question, but like what
you are like it's like confusion.
It's jumbled and it's confusion. Yeah. I'm trying to even like put into words like what I was feeling, what I would think day to day, but it was randomness and purposeless is what it felt like.
Yes. It was like,
did you feel that too?
I felt the exact same way. And that's why we're trying to like normalize this because I majored in public health, minored in nutrition.
Oh yeah. I forgot you did public health.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I always forget
And so
that.
like a lot of times people get into either like epidemiology or grant writing or some type of like health insurance work. Right out of college, I did the fitness thing for like a year, knowing myself. I was like kind of wanted like a little gap year after college to do like a fun job.
Yeah.
And then I was going to like apply for like my like real job. And then my real job was in health insurance. I worked as a healthcare advisor at
Oh
Optum.
my God. I cannot believe you did that job.
Yeah. I literally know all about deductibles and shit. So like
same here.
Ask me questions. I got you. And I thought that was like my real job. And I literally was so anxious, hated my life. And what do you know, back in fitness, because that was like always my passion.
Reverse.
And like what's interesting is a lot of times people take jobs right out of college that are related to your major, which is totally fine. And some people, stay within that for 10 years. Some people will probably quit their job and you'll keep like figuring out what you learn from the jobs you have. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure you were more on like the healthcare side of things, but then you liked the marketing aspect and now you're more marketing.
Yeah, because I did advertising agency. I thought that was like the trick. I was like, I made it. This is where I wanted to work. Boom, check. Didn't feel it. Left there. Saw a dollar sign, but really the position was I got to rotate around a company. Here was the thing. It had nothing, health insurance and journalism / marketing, no correlation, no correlation. But I learned people skills. I learned how to like be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. Like I was a broker service unit rep, which basically means I answer the phone when an insurance broker calls I help troubleshoot the situation they're having with their members, if that makes any sense to you guys at all. But I mean, it was horrendous. I won't lie. But I learned how to like just get over it. Like I could do good work in the broker service unit. I did good work with like onboarding and like different like it's called like open enrollment, which is like insurance shit. It's like if I could do that, imagine what I could do if I actually cared about the work that I did.
Yeah.
So here's my thing that I always say is your job out of college does not matter. It does not matter if it's related to your degree. It doesn't matter if it's not related to your degree. To be honest, your degree is just to say check on the box for a lot of people.
Yeah.
In my opinion, as long as you're looking for a job, and this is if you're even past college, okay? So I'm talking to anybody that's listening right now. If you're looking for a job that has at least one thing you're curious about, like if I do this, I am curious about whatever it is. I'm going to use like, what's an example? Like computers. I'm curious about computers, even though it sounds
Coding.
like coding. Sure. But it's like, it's one step further to that. Even if my degree was marketing, I kind of want to learn about coding. I try for a job. I'm a little overqualified, but that's okay. I learned about coding. Watch what door it opens up next. It's not about the door that you're going into. It's about the door that's going to come after the thing that you're learning.
Exactly.
So that's how I explain it.
Yeah. And I remember like I had this post-college turning point where I realized that like I needed to start learning how to define my goals for myself. And it was not necessarily on like a third party to define them anymore for me. Like it was your choice, which like I was in charge of my own life and what I wanted to do. And for the first time, like I got to decide what was next, which is scary, but it's also like really empowering. So
Totally.
If you don't want like a job right out of college that maybe has something to do with your degree, it's also like a good time to explore a little bit if you have the means, or if you like want to do something completely unrelated. Maybe you start a side hustle, but like now you are in control of your life, which is kind of cool.
I know.
But also chatting with other people that struggled with this transition, knowing that you're not alone. So know that you're not alone. Be kind to yourself. Your emotions are completely normal. Like a lot of anxiety, depression, post-grad is common because you're grieving like this old version of your life. It's a huge transition. Your friends aren't close anymore. You're using social media and you're looking at what other people are doing and it looks like you're behind when really you're not. Everyone's faking it. So my tip for you guys is just like, and along with what Syd said, is reminder to think smaller. You don't have to know what you want to do with your life. You need to just take baby steps, get started, start a job, and things will slowly transition into what you want. And I think like, we've talked about this before, but like if you're more of like a medical degree, sometimes it's a little more laid out for you, which we'll get to in a little bit because I think someone wrote in a question about that. But moral of the story is like, fuck the what you should do and really listen to what you want because you're building your life, you're making the decision. So
I don't know how many people I know that are super uber successful that started and basically flipped their life midway through and are doing something passionate.
Yeah.
And really, truly, my SVP told me something the other day that I was like, oh my God, I feel so much better. She goes, I was in your position. I sat where you sat. I was a hustler. I pushed, but I had a lot to learn. I have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
She still's like, I have a lot to learn to go to the next step. What I didn't understand is I'm like, well, if I start hustling now, I can make something right now and I'm going to create something right off the bat. That's true. But you also have to be mindful that you don't know everything right now.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you don't know until you learn that thing that's going to be the secret sauce to like whatever the bigger picture is. Like now I know that I really like paid media and that might be part of my bigger picture and what I can teach people what to do. I wouldn't have known that if I wouldn't have tried this weird job that I took that had a rotation in paid media that I had no curiosity in. I just wanted to learn. So like be patient and like take one step at a time and just like absorb, learn from people, but know when to advocate for yourself and learn.
I like that.
My only other thing I was going to say was part of the hard thing for me was my identity changed when I left. You know, you leave college, and even now I think people post COVID, I think we're all kind of starting over. Like I feel like I'm 26, you know, you're 27, Soph, and it's like people are still kind of getting used to college right now, like being out of college, being in like their 20s. 20s are just hard in general. But the reason I started changing my habits is because like going out didn't really serve me anymore. Like it wasn't like me going out helped me do anything. None of my friends came from going out. I'm just going to be honest with you. They'd either came from somebody through a college friend or going to a gym. Like it wasn't serving me anymore. I was groggy on Sundays, which was my day that I wanted to like be like good to myself and do things for my body and like all these things. And then Monday came around and I was still groggy coming out of a hangover. So like, what was the use for me? Like, what was the use case there? Does it mean I don't go out? No, of course I freaking go out. Sometimes I send it. A lot of times I just have like 1 to 2 cocktails and I socialize going with the people that I care about versus going there to be seen and making new random friends.
Yes. And it's funny you bring this up now because I'm literally hungover, which is never the case.
Oh, I know. Okay. Well, that was not an at you, I promise.
No, I know it is. But yeah, I definitely go out way less than I did. And it's also when you feel you have more meaningful relationships, you don't need to like get drunk to make connections. It's like you want to make connections sober so you can really like lean into that.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I also send it sometimes too, which I did yesterday.
Oh, you can full send it. Absolutely. I'm not saying we don't.
Before we get into college confessions, we have questions regarding kind of this conversation we're talking about now, right out of college that y'all wrote in. We're going to start with some longer ones, and then we have like a few shorter questions as well. So first question says, how do you cope with feeling like all the people you knew in school are doing better than you? So they say, it's now graduation season. All the people I knew in high school are graduating college. Many of them are going directly onto PhD programs. One is going to start their master's degree. One is starting a very prestigious MD PhD program. And then there's me, stuck in a low-paying entry-level job while struggling my way through a post-batch. I look at what everyone else is doing and I just feel like a failure and a disappointment to my family. We all went to the same high school, and it's not like I didn't try hard, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do and felt kind of directionless for a while. And now everyone is doing much better than me. I feel like it would be easier at this point to just jump off the bridge so I'm not any more of a burden and embarrassment to everyone.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
That is really tough, the self-comparison thing, and I did the same exact thing. And I will just start by saying that I never wanted to go on and get my PhD, or, like there's a part of me that could say maybe I'll get my master's later on in life, but that was never the route that I wanted to go. Just because someone starts going that route doesn't mean that you have to be envious of them. To me, I'm like, I'm going to make what I make on my own. I'm not somebody who needs an extra degree to go do the thing that I want to do. Some people are going to need that, and they need to get in more elevated learning to do the shit they want to do. And that's sweet. Yeah. But that doesn't equate to having levels. Like, you're entry level, they're in school. That should really even out. Like, it really, really should.
And like, even in terms of like, maybe some being like a doctor or some sort, like I know a lot of doctors, like personally, that if they could do it over, I think they would, because they lost like the biggest, most exciting part of their 20s. Like, they see social media and they're like, oh my gosh, my friends are actually chilling on the weekends. I'm studying all weekend long. Like, I missed my complete 20s. I wasn't able to focus on relationships. I'm $300K in debt. Like, yes, you're probably making a little bit less than I will in a few years, but like, I lost the most important years of my life. So just know, like, some doctors absolutely love that. They're willing to make that sacrifice. If that's you, like, do it if you know it's worth it. But if you're chasing this title for clout versus like actually wanting to help people, I really don't think you're doing it for the right reasons. And you probably will still end up happy. Just because you have like a label behind your name does not mean you have a better life than someone else.
The grass is not always greener. Yeah, exactly. Like, it really isn't. Like, I think an entry level is just a big accomplishment too. Like, I remember getting my entry level and being like, finally, like, yes, I got a gig. I'm going to start it. I'm going.
I'm making my own money.
Yes, it's a big deal.
It's huge.
And a lot of my friends who went off to get degrees, they're like, I wish like I could start making money right now. Like, I feel behind.
Yes.
So it's like, it's always just comparison on the other side. You have to stop that and focus on doing better in what you're doing. Okay. This one says, how to deal with moving back home after college. I just finished my master's and I'm moving back home with my parents now that my lease is up. I'm dreading this so much because my parents are strict and I got used to my independence. I have a stepmom who's awful and I hate being around her for the sake of my mental health. Regardless, when I move back home, I know they're going to want to control me as much as they can. And I never was the type to talk back or take a stance. On the other hand, I also have a boyfriend who I've been dating for 2 years and they don't allow that or don't know that. At my apartment, I saw him all the time, and at home, I know I won't be able to see him as much. He's also moving to Philadelphia for dental school by the end of July, so this is really our last summer together that I can maximize our time. Overall, it seems like my whole world is going to shit, and I don't know how to deal with being at home in a healthy way. Any advice would be appreciated on how so I can keep my sanity and good mental health while moving back home.
Oh my gosh.
Relatable.
I totally feel this.
Relatable.
Even just like going back to your parents for like the weekend sometimes and you're like, God damn it, I gotta like do the dishes and all this stuff.
Where are you going?
Like, yeah, where are you going? What are you doing? When will you be home? I'm like, really? Like, I remember coming home from college. I'm like, do you think I had a curfew in college? Why are you putting a curfew on me now? Like, it's the summer. Like, I'm having fun. I stayed up late binge drinking all through college and I have to be home by midnight. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, not happening.
But
it's under their
moving
roof,
home is definitely different. And that's what my dad would always say. You're under my roof. It's my rules. Mm-hmm. Like, I get that. But also, hopefully, those parents and your stepmom have realized that you have spent 4 years maybe maturing a little bit in college. So hopefully they treat you not like a kid anymore, and you can like show them that you've matured, which means unfortunately cleaning up after yourself, asking if you can help with something. The more you treat them with respect, hopefully they'll treat you with respect back.
Yeah, totally. Just treat them that's the best way to put it, is respect their space, respect, like, be helpful since you're living there probably for free, I'm assuming. And also set boundaries, like, nope, during this time to this time I go here, like, that's just that. Or like, nope, I don't know my plan tonight. I'll let you know if I'm coming home later, but otherwise I'm just going to go do my own thing. Like, don't feel guilty too. Like, if they have dinner together every single night, like, you do not need to be there every single night, especially if you want to go do something and have some boundaries and some more space, but like, be present when you're there with them and then leave and do your shit so you can have mental clarity and time alone. Like, close your door. Like, show that when I've got my door closed, I'm in my room and in my space by myself. Like, make it your own little sanctuary too.
It's almost like you should treat it like you're visiting your parents versus like living there, if that makes sense. I think, and I know, like, I mean, my parents were strict. Like, I had to stay home. Like, if I was home for the summer after college, like, I had to eat dinner with them and then I could go out. Like, I literally couldn't just be like, no, I'm going. Like, my dad would be like, okay, like, you want to pay me back all your college tuition, you know? So I'm like, okay, like, I felt like so I really just, I tried to set my boundaries best I could and like remind them often that I was an adult.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I like that. That's very well put.
Okay, next one. I think we have one more long one and a couple more shorter ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Should I take a gap year before grad school? I'm a senior in college wanting to get a master's degree. All these people with master's degree
I know,
at work, not me. And okay, wanting to get my master's degree in evolutionary genetics. To work industry. Sorry, y'all. I do not want a PhD at the moment because of the time, grant writing, and funding issues. I'm doing research for chemistry and an ecology professor of mine, and they recommended I apply for a master's program right to attend in fall 2022. Is it normal to feel unworthy to go to grad school? I have severe imposter syndrome. I have research experience, a good GPA, and a passion for science. Some days I just want to go back away from applying because I'm so anxious about it. I feel that if I take a gap year, I will be too nervous to apply later on. Any advice is greatly appreciated.
I mean, reading that, you kind of got it going on, dude. Like, you've got a 3.9 GPA. Jesus. I'm like, you're smarty pants. Like, I mean, if you feel like you have something that you want to accomplish in between, like, now and the next year that you apply, I think that that's a beautiful thing. Like, travel is your goal, or like just giving back to yourself. I think that's awesome. But just waiting to apply because you're anxious to apply and just taking a gap year with no intent of what you want to do, like, I think that's not smart. Like, I think that would be the wrong decision to do.
I actually really agree with that. I think if you're going to like take advantage of the gap year, like maybe you want to join the Peace Corps and like learn. I think there's a lot of like growth between undergrad and grad school if you were to take the gap year and like actually do something with it. Maybe you go to like, you do some like abroad program that has to do with
or
your
go backpack or whatever it's called.
Something like that. I think you could learn some boundaries, but I definitely wouldn't take longer than a year if you do actually want to go back, or else, you have a lot less chance of actually going, I would say.
Imposter syndrome also will never go away. Like, no matter what you're doing, like, there's people listening right now. They're like, I'm in my 20s, 30s, 40s. I have imposter syndrome. My parents tell me they have it. Like, everybody gets imposter syndrome. You work through it. It's how you work through it. It's like your diligence and how you work through it. So
I love.
Yeah. How do you find a new sense of normal when your world does a full 180 post-college?
Oh God. We already talked. We kind of already talked about this, but like, that is completely normal to not feel normal. Like, you're going to be anxious. You're going to be kind of scared about what's going on. You don't know how to do anything, knowing that no one else knows how to do anything.
My thing is like, actually find out what truly matters to you and like sit with that. Like, does the gym matter? Does being strong at work matter? Do I want to still learn, getting good at something, paying off loans? Like, I don't know. Like, we got to coast. I mean, personally, I coasted through college. Like, I totally did. I just chilled. I mean, I partied. I went to school. I did have to work, but I was coasting. I didn't really have anything like set up for me afterwards. And I definitely didn't like plan for myself. Like, I started to mentorship like finally towards senior year, but like, we're coasting and we're waiting for somebody to tell us the next thing to do and do something for us. And now once you leave college, you got to figure it out. Like, you just got to start applying yourself, like for real, and having purpose. And
it seems so like overwhelming because I'm like, oh my God, like now I have to find a job and now I like get paid. But like, it's really just one step at a time. Find the job and then things will roll in. You'll start to get bills and you learn how to pay your first bill. And then it just continues. Like, as long as you're taking small steps and realizing like, hey, it's not going to be normal for a little bit. And the feelings you're feeling are completely validated and normal, and everyone else in the same boat. And don't compare yourself to social media. You'll be okay.
You'll be okay. One step at a time, one little thing at a time.
How do I know if the job I'm considering after graduation is right for me?
Don't look at the money. Don't look at the dollar sign. One step closer in learning what you want, what something that interests you and something that's going to challenge you and get you like to be a bigger, better version of yourself. That's all you need to look for.
Yeah. And you really won't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. That's kind of the shitty thing about it is you're going to take the job and you're going to try to stay. I always my parents always told me to try to stay with whatever job I picked for like a year, no matter what. Right.
Yep.
One, it will help on your resume to not like start and stop. But two, you might learn something. Three, like who knows what you're going to learn from it? Who knows what connections you're going to make? But it'll take you at least in the right direction. Just start somewhere. So
I think the smartest people too, like learn as much as quickly as possible. Like you want to be trying things and trying things, even if they don't seem that interesting to you, because I hate to say it, this is kind of a fact. The sexiest things are not the things that make the most money, because the sexiest things are what people want to do the most. Right.
Yeah.
And or at least they think they do because everyone else is doing that. So think on that a little bit. And like, am I curious about that not everyone knows how to do? Maybe I could work for myself one day and teach people how to do that thing.
yeah.
Just got to say that. Okay. This one says last one. Yep. How to adult and not be sad about it.
Oh, I'm still working on this.
In my opinion, I'm like, this is the next stage. Like throw yourself a little pity party and move on. Like look at your parents and look at all the people that around you that are already doing it or did it. If you stayed where you were and you kept maturing, that would be weird. Like that would be really, really weird. Like if you were just sitting here right now, 2 years from now, you'd be like, what? I didn't move forward.
Yeah,
like,
what?
come on, what the hell?
I don't know how to like look at my bank statements. What?
Learn something.
Yeah.
Learn.
I mean, I still deal with this. Like I like call my mom and I'm like, Mom, this bill came and I don't understand. It's saying like I didn't pay it, but like I know I have health insurance and I don't know when it's like it's sending to collections. Like y'all, I've been there. Like it is, it's confusing. And I sometimes get a little sarcastic and funny about it. Honestly, that helps me a lot. I just get a little humorous about it. Like Pat would be like, you have like a stack of unopened bills, by the way. And I'm like, and I'll make a little like day where I'm just like gonna open it up and drink my Diet Coke and just fucking power it out.
Yep.
And it is a little sad, but like you feel so relieved and empowered and accomplished once you like are done with opening up your envelopes or your mail. And it sounds so stupid and little, but like I really did struggle with it and I still do. Like I don't love figuring out how to call the bank or make appointments for your fucking self. I mean, it's like
it's not fun. It's a little awkward.
Yeah,
it's like there's
it's like,
the like learning buffer of like, oh God, I don't want to do that. Or you're calling, you're like, I'm here to call to pay a bill. Or like I have to put it on I learned this the other day because I had to go get new tires. New tires. I went there to get my tires rotated, which is free dollars. And it costs $3. And then I found out that I needed it's free to rotate your tires at Discount Tire. And then I went there and they were like, oh yeah, honey, no, you went 40,000 miles without rotating your tires. Didn't know that you're supposed to do it every 8,000 miles. Whoever told me that? No one. And then guess what? I had 2 holes in my front tires.
But like, were they lying to you? I always feel like men are lying to me at any car shop I go to. I'm like, you're lying. I'm going to call my dad and you can talk to my dad.
No, my dad looked. He was like, yeah, these tires are shot. I was like, okay. So I had to buy all 4. That cost over $600. So I had to put it on. What I learned was a payment plan on your credit card. You can break it out into 3 payments. Didn't know that. Because I was like, shit, I owe $700 that I don't have tomorrow. Like, what the fuck?
Bro, I had the exact same thing happen to me, but different.
This
is so relatable, actually, your story and the story. Yeah, so I don't have fucking $600 to spend either. And I get a ticket on my car and it says tabs.
Brutal.
It says, this was literally a week ago, tabs expired. I'm like, fuck, really? I'm like, oh my God, you
told me this.
I'm like, they're a month expired. This cop can calm down. This is ridiculous. This better be a cheap ticket, whatever. I try to renew my tabs online. First of all, this is what I do every time. I text someone I know who's older than me. Maybe it's a mentor. Maybe it's your parent. Maybe it's someone I go, how the fuck do I renew my tabs? I've literally never had to do this. They're like, just go to this website. I'm like, okay. So I go to the website and I had to like get some weird number from inside my car door. Who knew that was
your
even
VIN?
Yeah. Who knew that was even there? You have like a secret like tattoo on your car. It's like individual to your car. Did you know that? I know, right? So I get this like little VIN number from my car and I'm typing it in on the website and it's like, you cannot update this online. You have to go into what do they call it? DMV. I'm like, really? I have to go into a DMV? It's like literally my worst nightmare. So I try to find tip, like go to a DMV in a suburb. Don't go in Minneapolis if you live in Minneapolis. Because line's long. So I go to this dinky ass little place next to Syd's house.
Watch it. Yeah, I'm like, okay.
It's from like 1900 DMV.
It looks like they put up the walls with like pieces of cardboard and then like put tape over them. Yeah. Like, here, come on in. Like, okay.
So I strap my little booty in there and I'm like, oh, I need to renew my tabs. They're a month expired. And she's like, oh no, actually they're 2 years and a month expired. I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, it does say 2020. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So she's like, so you owe $600. And I'm like,
I can't believe it was that much.
My jaw just dropped. Like, it was just a random Tuesday.
So bad.
A random Tuesday, I just had to drop $600 and I should have asked for a payment plan, but expenses like that happen. So definitely, if you're trying to adult right now, someone asked about budgeting. I wish I could help you a little bit more. But maybe we'll have Callan on, our financial girl, who was also on an episode prior. If you want to talk finance a little bit more, she was on, I don't know what episode it was.
Callan, let me figure it out.
But you do need a plan for like expenses that you're not planning for, if that makes any sense. So yeah, try to do your best to not go in debt, which is what Callan talks about, and paying off your credit card every month.
64.
Episode 64, Callan talks all about finances and budgeting if you want a little more intake on that.
I have one tip for you if you're trying to budget an adult, because I'm 26 years old and I just officially started budgeting. This is like officially, because I used to swipe my credit card and hope to God that I had enough money to pay it off the next month. Yeah, really not a good idea. The longer you avoid that, the harder it is to get out of that pattern, and the more debt you rack up. Woo! So what I do or did, Jordan, thank God, helped me and forced me into learning it, is you basically compile everything that you know you're going to have payment for in a month. Okay. Like no matter what, like it could be your phone, everything. Even if it's like, I know I paid this much money on, like gas is a little bit like wishy-washy, but like, you know, the usuals, or I pay this for my phone. No, groceries are, you actually have to think of those on the outside. Okay. So like your phone bill, or like I pay for Tesla or whatever, like things like that. Yeah. So add those all up. That amount of money needs to be in your account every single month, no matter what, no ifs, ands, or buts, right? Because if that goes over, you're screwed. So you need that amount of money, and then you divide that by how many times you're being paid. So for me, I get paid every week. So that's 4 times a month. So that means, let's just call it $1,000 in there to make it easy math. I need $250 to go to an account that I never touch. I am not allowed to spend $1 from every paycheck. And then I never have to think about my monthly expenses.
That's genius.
It's genius. It's like, oh, wow. If I would have known how to do that a long time ago, I would be chilling.
This is kind of a dumb question, but like I always struggled with, okay, when I started my job, it was like, where do you want your money to go to? It's so fucking confusing. I'm like, okay, well, I'll put some to savings. And I like usually only lets you to put like 2 in like 2 different accounts. So
no, I can do it. You can do a lot more.
You can do a lot more. So maybe if I figure out how to like take my Barry's income and create a new bank account, not on my current. So I have like my Wells Fargo. Yeah. But I should create it with another bank, right? So I don't see it in there. Right. And so it just kind of like goes there.
If that's going to help you, I think 100%. Yeah. I keep it all in one bank. I'm like in USA or whatever. And I have them all there. But like I have one that Jordan and I put money together in, like for like house stuff, because it's expensive. A house is expensive. Yeah. And then that one he puts in a different bank account. So I don't even look at it. Just because it has Jen.
I'm like,
it's a Janice.
I don't know what I'm like. Oh my God. Love Jean.
Oh, I will say though, like if you're saving for like a Roth or something, that's not going to stay in your thing. Like that's a different type of saving. Different. It goes, bye-bye, see you later. It flies out the window.
If you want to know what a Roth is, Callan's episode. I think we'll cool it with the finances now, but that was really helpful and I'm going to start doing that.
We're going to cool it with the finance.
we need a chill. Just kidding. I was actually really helpful. But I want to get into Candid College Confessions, don't you think?
Sure.
Go
for it.
Okay. You're not mad that I meant
I'm just like, there's important things that people need to know.
I know. I agree. I feel like we talked. Do you have more to say about finances? No, I was just trying to keep it moving.
No, you can move it.
I thought it was a good segment that we wanted in there. Okay. So Candid College Confessions. These are confessions you guys wrote in anonymously. We have some longer ones to start, some shorter ones at the end. Here is the first one. I unknowingly slept with my roommate's underage brother.
Oh, Jesus.
This was a few months ago. I came home from class that day to find this cute redhead watching TV on my couch. I was a little freaked out at first, and he immediately told me his name was Seth and that he was a friend of my roommate, Carter, and was just waiting for him to get done with classes. Now, Seth was like 6'3" and a baseball player shaped, was baseball player shaped. Okay?
I don't know what that means. Baseball
Maybe
player
like,
shaped. Good cheeks, butt cheeks.
Who knows? We talked some, and I asked what year he was, and he told me he was a freshman with an undecided major. We flirted some, and we had a few beers, and eventually ended up in my bed.
Jeez.
My roommate didn't get back till late, and by that time, me and Seth had already cleaned and sobered up. Seth went back to the living room while I was in room doing some work for class. My roommate came into my room to ask if his brother Seth could stay with us for the weekend because he just came out to his parents and they'd been fighting about it. I was super confused, and I asked why he didn't just stay in the dorm instead of staying at their parents while in college. Carter looked at me weird for a sec and then realized I thought Seth was older and told me he was only 15 and just really tall. I just kind of played it cool while freaking out in my head. Seth ended up staying for a long, awkward weekend. I hadn't said anything to Carter, and now Seth wants to spend the summer with his brother, and all of this is just extra weird, and I feel so disgusting that I slept with this kid.
Oh my God.
That's not
I could
good.
see though how you could be put in that situation if someone was like, I'm an undecided major. Like, yeah, I'm in college though. Like you trust people's word. I mean, sure, if he's got some braces popping out, then you could probably tell his age, but
do you think it's Seth's? Do you think it's Seth's fault or this person's fault?
Yeah, Seth is a little sneaky liar. Also, Seth, like I don't know why that name doesn't come out very well. Like,
I feel like his name would be like Brad.
Yeah,
like he kind of pulled
Brad 6'3".
He kind of pulled a Brad.
He did pull a Brad.
Like, okay, Seth.
Okay,
word.
Brad the baddie.
Okay, Brad the baddie.
Oh,
okay.
Youngest. Oh,
so Syd,
that's young, dude.
That is so young. I think this is a good question to ask us for fun. Well, what's the oldest and youngest you've slept with?
Like the biggest range, maybe? Like,
yeah.
Well, I remember when I was, 18 or 19, I slept with someone who was like 39.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I did.
Wow, that's spicy.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. They were probably 35, but I think they were not 39. Now that I'm doing the math in my head,
I thought I was fancy. I was like, yeah. I slept with a 33-year-old when I was like 25.
Oh shit! I had a little thing for hockey players, so we all know that. So anyway, moving on. Younger though, I don't think I've ever hooked up with anyone younger than me. I'm dead serious.
Mine would be my current boyfriend.
Oh my God, yeah, Pat is younger.
Pat's literally closer to my brother's age than my age.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
I forgot about that. No, I don't think so.
Oh no, you read the next one.
Okay, okay, good idea. Okay, next one. You guys are crazy, by the way. Woo. I just gave oral and realized.
Maybe the sexual.
Oh God, it is a sexual one. Okay, we're reading. I just gave oral and realized I'm not gay or bi. I thought I've been bi-curious for a while now and finally found someone who ticks my boxes, i.e. not super masculine. I got this person to come over tonight and to mess around. I did not have a good time sexually. The guy was really cool and super sweet and nice, but I enjoyed none of it. I couldn't get hard or stay hard during oral. Nothing was enjoyable about the encounter, but now I've realized I'm 100% straight and that will be the last dick I ever suck. Okay.
I'm going to be honest. I definitely PG'd this for you because it was a lot more vulgar.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, well, thanks for PGing a little bit.
You're welcome.
Honestly though, that's super relatable for
especially
curious
college.
People in college.
Yes. College is your time to experiment.
Be curious in college. Like that's so fair. And honestly, now you know, but you wouldn't have known. You probably would have pondered, oh my God, I'm probably bi or I'm probably gay for how God knows how long if you wouldn't have just experienced it or tried. I have no shade for that. No shade. That's amazing. Good for you.
Love it. I love how we ended it too. That will be the last dick I've ever sucked. That's fine. Okay, the next one, college confession. They said, my boyfriend, this is actually, this one's a little more serious, trigger warning for essay, okay? My boyfriend violated me and I don't know how to feel. I woke up a little while ago to his hands on me and inside of me. Confused, I just laid there. When he saw I was awake, he had sex with me and then went straight to sleep. I was shocked, so I didn't say anything. No moans, no sound, nothing. Then he just went to sleep like nothing happened. I don't really know how to feel, but I can't shake the feeling that I've been violated. I had to get this out. This is a first for me and I'm shocked at him for doing something like this.
That is really tough because it's somebody you trust and you're in a relationship with. And I mean, you could have maybe said something, but we can never say that in a situation like this, right? It's like, it's not like you could have gone back. You were shocked. You can't just like wish that you could have said something, but your first instinct's like, I'm sure listening is like, why didn't you say something? If you're shocked and you're in shock, you don't know what to do. That is a scary, scary feeling. I would think to myself, like, are there any other patterns I should be worried about this person? Like, have I ever experienced anything sexually that made me uncomfortable with my significant other that I've never put any thought into?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that I'm not seeing? 100% have a conversation, because that is icky, icky, icky. And to be honest, if you can't shake it, it sounds like this person is not respecting your boundaries, especially like thinking you're asleep. Like that's icky. And I'm sorry that happened.
I also like consent, no matter what relationship you're in, married, girlfriend, boyfriend, like an old grandpa and grandma couple, like consent still matters. Like all I'm saying is like, I would feel very triggered if
oh my God,
my current boyfriend had sex with me without even me like either initiating or like giving you a sign that I'm having fun. Like, yeah, giving you a sign that like I'm enjoying it or saying yes. Like, and also if you feel violated or you feel icky after a sexual situation, you're probably right in feeling that way. And that's not okay.
No, it's not okay
at all. And I don't know if I've ever told even you this, but like, I remember at the beginning of this podcast, I had an episode where I had like a hinge date and a guy like was like a little rough with me. And I was like totally shocked. And like, I felt gross for like months after. And like, it was just like, it took too far, but like not even that long ago, I was like, I think it was senior year in college that I was so drunk and I didn't like this guy, but I willingly slept in his bed because we were like all staying at my friend's house and I was the first one to bed. So I went to like the first bed I could find. There was one room and other people on the couch, and I wake up in the middle of the night and he's literally fingering me.
No.
And I had never, but he was like, well, you were in my bed.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, that doesn't matter.
That doesn't equate to anything. That doesn't equate to anything. It's a spot I chose to sleep, you freak.
And then like I told my friends the next day and they were like, oh, well, like it's okay. Like it's fine. Cause they were friends with him and they didn't want to stop being friends with him. So like I was the one who felt like in the wrong. And it was just like,
that's horrible.
And it's still weird to this day that they're like, oh, well, he's going to be there. So if you don't want to come, and then like, I'm not invited because that guy's there.
That is so
like,
icky.
It's just like, it just makes you feel
you got to trust your gut. And oh God, it's like you can't avoid these situations because sadly, sometimes the situation just like come upon you and we don't know. It's not your fault for being there. You got to trust that it's not your fault. You got to trust that your gut is right and that you're not wrong. And you really got to find people to confide in that are going to trust you and be with you. Like the minute somebody's like, yeah, I don't think that's really like what happened, get the fuck rid of them. Get the fuck rid of them. Like truly. Or ask them, have you been through something that you're trying to hide or cover up? Because I'm here for you if you need to talk about something. Because usually it's a defense mechanism.
You don't have to share if you don't want to, but I thought you had some college situation or like you were part of a Me Too movement of something with tattoos. Oh yeah,
I did. Yeah.
I have. You have a tattoo about it?
I have like I am on my side for like I am not defined by that day because I've had numerous situations that are sadly icky. Yeah. One that really like I hadn't like thought about in a long time, and I'm willing to share this one because this one bugs me to this day, and I will tell you why. I was really drunk at a frat, and this guy was like one of the higher ups in the frat. Not that that matters, but he had a room there is why I'm at. The only reason I'm telling you that. He had his own room. Yeah. And he wanted me to stay over. I was hammered. My friends tried to make me go home. I didn't want to go home. I wanted to stay over, but like it's not like I was thinking logically of like what could happen if I stayed over. Yeah. He was my really good friend, but we kind of had some chemistry and we went to bed and he kept trying to make out with me and then like kept trying to finger me. And I kept saying no. And he kept trying to finger me over, you know what I mean? Like it was just weird. Here's the thing though, as I woke up, we continued to be friends. I never really thought about it until it came into my mind. It kept circulating my thoughts over and over again. And then I realized it's not okay. Yeah. That was not okay. And that is a person I kept in my life for like 4 more years after college. And now I absolutely ghost him. I do not talk to him if he reaches out, and he probably still reaches out, and he might even listen to this. I have no idea it was him. Like that's how scary it is. And it's crazy because your subconscious and your gut will tell you if it was wrong. And maybe, I was too drunk and I should have not been there. It's too bad, so sad. That's not how the world works. No. It's consensual. That's what matters. And it wasn't right. Something about the situation was wrong, and it's still making me feel like it was wrong. And so it was, period. End of story.
Yep. End of story. So like, honestly, if you are under the influence, and this could go for, this could also go the other way. Like you could be taking advantage of someone who is a little intoxicated too, no matter if it's a guy, if it's a girl, whatever. But when you are under the influence, like there needs to be clear boundaries set maybe before the night happens, before you go out to the bars, or maybe just try to get home to your own bed.
Dude,
and we shouldn't have to be accountable and responsible, but to a certain extent, like just be careful,
Just be careful. And I hate to say it, but it doesn't matter your age. Like you still have to be really careful. Like college doesn't mean that it's done, once college is over, doesn't mean these situations end. It just means likely you're not in as many of them because maybe you're not drinking as much and you're not like going to the bars as much. But the sad thing is a lot of the drinking situations equate to being in a possible tough situation. So just be smart. And I hate that you have to take care of yourself, but we got to watch out for ourselves. We got to watch out for our friends. And we also, as women and men that are listening and that are willing to take and step up, we got to watch out for other people that look like they're in a bad situation.
Yeah.
I have stopped people at bars from taking home women because I'm like, do you know this person? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, do you know this person? I'm like, you need to leave her or I need to find her a friend because whatever this is going to happen, she doesn't even know what's going on. So we're not going there, period.
You think the party scene stops when you're out of college, but if you still enjoy going out, it really doesn't.
It doesn't.
Like, so you'll just have to, so if you wrote this in, thank you for confessing this, but also know the feeling within you is correct. And I would probably have a conversation. And if he doesn't accept how you're feeling, I would consider that a huge red flag.
My last little comment about this was just going to say, going to therapy is going to help because if you're feeling alone and you don't feel like confiding in friends yet, because you're just not quite ready, go to therapy, talk it out. You won't feel crazy. You won't feel like it's your fault. You're just going to start to be able to talk through a situation that you just need to move on from, and you need to move forward from because it doesn't define you. Okay.
You're gonna love this one.
Oh my gosh. Okay. This one takes a little fun turn.
I'm gonna let you read it. So this girl I think is like interning.
I saw Scrubs, so I'm assuming
at like some nurse thing. But
okay, here we go. I let a dying patient spank my bare ass last night, and I had a dirty old man as a patient. He won't live more than a couple more days at this point, but he still can talk some of. Oh, what does it say? He could still talk some as of last night. Okay, so this person is dying. He can't really talk. He was a typical dirty old man, about 70 years old. At one point during this evening, he rang his call bell. And when I went to his room, he asked me to come near him and that he had something to tell me. So I bent over, got close, and he flat out says, "You have the best ass in the whole hospital. Back in my day, it would have tore you up." Oh my God, old man. I blushed and said thank you with a giggle and I left the room. Well, a little while later, I went to check on him and I decided to make his dying hours good for him. Walked in, closed the door, held my finger up to say, shh, dropped my pants, exposing my red thong and quietly said, "You can spank it if you want." His face lit up. He slowly reached over, gave me an adorable smack on my right cheek. He didn't have any strength, but still let out a moan just for his pleasure. I quickly pulled up my scrubs, turned around and said, "You tell nobody," to which he winked. I will never see him again, but I hope that this made his last few hours or days a little more pleasurable.
Oh my God. Nurse of the year.
Honestly,
of the year.
You know what? I'm like, that's kind of cute. I mean, in a way, I'm like, if I had the confidence to pull down my pants and be like, "You can just smack it, give it, here you go," I would do that too. But I don't have the confidence to do that. But Queen, just made this man, he made his life.
My favorite part is when she says, "I still let out a little moan just for his pleasure." Just
You're like, ooh. She's the nurse of the year, really. She stepped up to make this man's last days. Oh my God.
Okay, a little more college confessions. These are a little quicker.
Okay.
Someone wrote in and said, "I wipe downwards."
Oh my God. You guys.
Don't do that.
Change.
No poopy in the vagina.
No. Okay, high key, in love with my cousin's husband. It's definitely one-sided.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
Oh, that's.
Yeah. I've had 3 significant crushes in my life, all who have come out as gay.
Oh my God, I know someone like this. I know someone who's literally had 3 boyfriends that transitioned. Oh my God, didn't transition. I said one transition.
Their sexuality.
One transition to we're gay. And I'm like, I wonder how, why is she attracting these more feminine men?
Talking about my sister?
Is that true?
Yeah. She's had 2 boyfriends that are now gay.
Wait, really? Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm mixing 2 people up, but maybe. That's kind of cute though, because maybe they felt like most confident and comfortable with you, and then they became their most confident, comfortable selves after. Okay, I love picking my nose. If I'm ever driving and I get a little sleepy, I put a finger up there and I'm instantly more alert. I do pick my nose in the car. I hate to say it.
Honestly, I remember the story you told in the podcast
My
about
bad.
your sister's friend seeing you dig for gold.
They thought I was hot, and then they were like, dude, your sister picks her nose. I'm like, okay.
This one kills me. I refused to go on a family vacation because it meant I was going to miss the Taylor Swift concert. I made everyone change their plans and dates of departure. We were even going to get free housing until I switched up plans. I feel bad, but like they didn't deal with Ticketmaster, so.
Oh my God, that's kind of savage.
Oops.
I wish, okay, and I might get hate for this, but I don't get like the craze for Taylor Swift. Like I understand why people do.
Same.
But I don't get the craze. Like I would never spend, I mean, people are spending like upwards of $600 to go to these concerts. Like what the hell are you doing? That's crazy to me. Like what?
Yeah, my confession is
I don't know about you.
I don't love her.
Feeling 22. She's skilled. She's got great singing voice. She writes her own music. She's badass. But
I don't even think she has that good of a voice. Her like music sometimes is like catchy, but like I think I've also talked about this on the podcast, but I think she sounds a little bit like a dying cat, like a little bit.
I watched her documentary and it changed my perspective.
Okay, maybe I'll do that.
On her just a little bit. Like I was like, oh, I like her. You know what I mean? I don't like not like her because she gets a lot of hate for no reason.
You're right.
But I don't have a liking for her music. Period.
Yeah.
End of story. Okay.
But like, please to listen to the podcast, even though, you know, we don't like love Taylor Swift, like it's fine. Okay.
It's not like if you have an argument of why you love her so much and like why the concert was life-changing and worth $600, please write it in. I would love to know.
More
and
like
I'm not hating on it. I get it.
Yeah.
But okay. I got a fat hickey right on my jaw when I was solo traveling in Naples. I was off to see my family next. So I created this huge lie that I tripped on dog poop and hit my jaw on the curb. I even pretended it hurt to eat. They believed it.
Oh, I can't eat this pasta.
Have you ever committed like to a lie so hard?
Yes, I have one.
Wait, what is it?
Immediately came to mind. So this is actually perfect for this episode because right out of college, not right out of college, but when I had my first real job, my parents were going to Florida and I didn't want to take time off work, or like I couldn't take time off work for some reason because I didn't like submit the PTO in time. So,
oh God.
And then my parents were like, you can come with us for free and stay in the hotel and like sunbathe. And I'm like, oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? Absolutely.
Yeah, you got to go.
But I'm like, I literally can't get off work. So I either had to like fake sick really hard or like, and I was like, but what if I want to post like a cute photo there? Like they're going to, I'm like, so what can I do? I pretended, I'm not even going to say like who, because I don't want to jinx anything, but like, this is so bad.
Oh no, I'm so scared.
Bad. I pretended one of my relatives was not doing well. And I had to go to Florida to like check on them and like make sure they were good. And I had to go with my parents. And it was like, we had to go that weekend because it was like, I had to leave on a Wednesday to the Monday. So I was going to miss the end of the week. And I tried to keep it really brief and short. Like I didn't have to explain, but like I didn't post on Instagram, those photos on Instagram, I remember for like a while because I didn't want them to know it was from taking them out. I was like literally a full blown because I hated my job.
Psycho.
Because I hated my job so much. I was like, I literally was so unhappy. I was like, I just can't work here. I think I quit. Like, I stayed there for a year. I did make myself do it for a year, but like, oh my God, it was horrible. So yeah, I literally come with this whole thing that my relative was not doing well.
I feel like that one is so common though. People are using that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen,
that's why we need mental health days. Yeah, we need mental health days. And that should be so, and you shouldn't have to plan ahead though for mental health days. It's like, no, I'm not doing well. I'm not coming in.
No, we have those at work.
Okay, that's awesome.
I think we get like 6 or something like that. And I mean,
I don't get those at all.
Yeah, I know.
Because you literally, when you coach fitness, it's like, you can't even, like the week of, I can't even call a sub because
why?
Because it's like a late sub and we get like docked. And
we can. That's so
like
bad.
The day before, even if I like easily want to swap a class, can't do that unless it's like literally, I need to submit it just reminded me. You have to like submit like literally a month in advance.
What?
No matter what.
That's That's psychotic. I'm sorry. That's really weird.
It's crazy.
I did lie one time. I wanted to go to a football game. No, I wanted to go to it was senior year homecoming football game. Sorry, I'm going to go. And I worked at this hockey shop. And I was the only girl that worked. And I don't know, I think I didn't really know how social media was working at this time. I'm not really sure. Either way, regardless, I told them that I wasn't feeling very well. My stomach was hurting that day, like really bad. I couldn't come in. Mind you, they had like 4 of us working and nobody came into the store. So just bear with me. I went to the game. I remember I accidentally reposted somebody's story of me and I was like in it. Like I wasn't thinking, I think it was like 3 days later. So I was like, oh, they won't notice. Yeah. I get a call. I'm like, hello.
They were that?
Oh yeah. I mean, this was like a high school job too. And they're like, I just want to talk to you about how the other day, Friday, when you said you were sick and you weren't sick, you actually went to the football game. And I was like,
what'd you do?
I go, oh yeah, no, I was like, I started feeling better. And they were pissed. So guess what? They go, we're not going to fire you. We're going to give you a warning. They also were trying to be serious because like these people were so chill. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. That was really wrong of me. I felt guilty. Like I won't lie, I felt guilty. I admitted because they said exactly what I did. I'm like, shit, no, it was my sister that was there. I went there into work the next day. They made me clean the bathroom, the men's bathroom in the back. So what the employees use, they have never cleaned it in 10 years. It had never been cleaned in 10 years. I didn't ever even use that bathroom because it was so gross. I gagged for like probably 115 times. I'm not kidding. I've never seen anything like what I saw. And I left it literally bleached. I think I bleached both my eyeballs and honestly probably my butthole at that point after cleaning it so deep. Yeah, let's just say I never lied about that, like to work anymore. So
isn't it funny though when like you get in trouble in high school for a job or something where you literally think it's the end of the world. Like you were like, I need to move states. Like I have to tell my mom.
Like, oh my God.
I got to tell my mom what happened. Like I'm a horrible person. And it's like,
I remember.
Bro, you start to realize, and this is something I've been talking in therapy about too, is like, I feel like since the more things been.
It's okay. Try one more time.
Okay. I'm so hungover. Where's my brain? Oh, there it is.
Squeeze it.
So the more things continue to go wrong in my life, the easier it is, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
So like the first...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
The first time I got in trouble, it's like the end of the world. The second time I'm like, okay, like, oh my God, it's the end of the world, but like I can get through it. And then I'm just immune. And I'm like, you know what? I got to work with the issues. Not even trouble, but I'm like, I got to work with this and I need to embrace it. And I can't change what happened, but I'm like really trying to work through that right now.
Well, good for you. You know what I mean?
I don't know if that made any sense.
No, it did. It totally did.
No, it didn't.
Okay, I will say the last thing that I was going to say I felt guilty about was I went to New York for work recently and I actually wasn't hungover, but I had gotten into a car accident. And so I had like this equilibrium issue. So if I got into a car and I was sitting in the back seat and I remember I was so dizzy, I was throwing up. I was actually not hungover. Like that was a true... Like that was the reason I was saying. But I will say at my other job earlier, like different times, I went out like on a weird night, like randomly because my boyfriend went out at weird times. And so like I was hungover on a Thursday or something like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm just like not, like I'm not doing too hot. I like think I had like something weird last night. I'm like throwing up at work. I was hungover.
I had food
hungover.
poisoning.
Straight up hungover. I'm like, I'm sure people could smell the liquor on me. I don't think my lie was working.
Yeah. Oh,
anyway, good stuff.
Well, good stuff. So those are like examples of confessions. So we would love y'all to write some in. We'll change our link in our bio from Straight Candid Moments to your Candid Confessions.
Please write them in.
Well, I just realized that won't be anonymous. So we'll think on that for a moment. But Candid Confessions will be the new Straight Candid Moments for y'all listeners.
It's going to be really fun.
We hope you have fun with it. We'll figure it out. It'll be linked in bio probably by the time you listen to this anyways. But cute. That's all we got for you today.
Oh, wait, is that it? Did we do that one or no?
Yeah, we did.
We did already. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. I feel like today I'm a little bit brain farty, like brain poopy. And I think it's because it's a long weekend and Soph and I are going to unwind for a little bit. I'm really excited because we have a mentor now and we're going to get some things aligned for our pod. And just I feel like we're just like going to get shit on the road. You know what I mean? Like get this shit on the road. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But if you're listening, go outside, get some sunshine. Remember, take breaks. Like I need that fucking reminder right now. So like do the thing. Do the thing.
Drink your water right now and take a deep breath.
I'm going to go get a water and then I'm going to have one more water and then I'm going to make a tequila soda and I'm going to have a wonderful day. Okay.
Oh my God, I cannot drink anything. That sounds, I literally just threw up in my mouth.
She
You
gagged. She did a
guys,
little,
please, for the name of God,
for the love of Lord.
for the love of the Lord, please rate, review, subscribe on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Follow us.
At Straight Candid Podcast.
That's so slow. I'm at Candid Soph on Instagram.
I'm at Candid Syd. We love you guys. We love you. We love you, love you, love you. Let us know if you have any topics you want to hear because we will do them and we will talk to you next week.
Bye.
Oh, my turn. Oh, do you think I sounded like a potato?
No, I was a potato.
I think I sounded
I'm a shaky little hungover potato.
You're a potato.
I say potato, you say potato,
potato.